So I'm
Yeah,
okay
it
with
does
it,
look a little buggy. But it
but
does look like we ended up on Garden of Terror.
which I'm completely okay with.
Oh, definitely. I love this map. This map's so much fun, in my opinion. There's just so many things to do on this map, it feels like. There's so many merc camps. There's a whole bunch of different little locations for the objectives. And you also have that nice day-night cycle that allows for maybe a bit more of an interesting game with that cycle of the objective continuously. Not like Tomb of the Spider Queen, where you're pretty much almost always fighting over it, and then you've just got those quick little web weaver bursts. Instead, you've got the daytime, the nighttime, and then the Garden Terror, and you have to worry about all three of those phases.
Yeah, it's definitely something you want to be care of. Team Blaze once again banning out Kael'thas. I love that hero. I hate that I see him banned all the time.
I mean, who doesn't love a fire mage that's all he does? Absolutely love Kael'thas. But we do have a bit of a switch up here from Just In It. They're going to ban out Lost Vikings instead of the Brightwing that we've typically been seeing.
And the main thing you really want to look out for is the fact that with those Lost Vikings, they have constant map presence. They're able to grab that crucial experience, especially in the late game, like early game. I mean, if you have someone in lane soaking experience the entire game and the rest of your team is just wandering around, it's hard to deal with.
Absolutely. So not a big surprise, but Illidan going to get grabbed up by Just End It here after the Team Blaze Uther pick. That, of course, is all we've been seeing so far out of these teams. That first pick, Uther, on into the Illidan and Jaina from Just End It, though. That's very interesting, an Illidan on this map. So what are they going to be looking for this time with this Illidan? How are they going to be trying to play, and is it going to vary up from what they've been doing before?
My question is, are they going to go for a Brightwing Rhaegar, maybe?
They could be. That might have been one of the reasons they decided to leave the Brightwing open. Obviously, the Lost Viking ban is solid, but with that Brightwing available, you can get a lot of map mobility out of him. The Rhaegar, very good at keeping Illidan alive. Brightwing being stolen away, not giving the other team that polymorph would also be a very, very nice move indeed.
It really would. I mean, looking at the Team Blaze right now, they want to pick up another assassin or maybe even a specialist, and they pick up Sylvanas. So
I like it. I'm all right with it. Uther, Nubarak, Sylvanas, why not? All very strong heroes right now. And you can do a lot of things with them. A lot of CC, a lot of pushing power, and of course that irreplaceable Divine Shield.
it's definitely something you want to look out for, especially when you're in the middle of a team fight. You see that like immortal object basically pop up. You just like, I need to be careful. I don't want to get taken out. We need to push someone else, take them out before they can kill any of us.
Definitely. So Just End It here, letting their time run down a little bit. It looks like they're going to go ahead and grab up that Muradin again for their tank, and then it is going to go ahead and be Brightwing. No big surprises there, realistically. Maybe a bit of a surprise they grabbed the Muradin this early. They've sometimes left him for a bit late in the draft pick, but still no big surprise. That is the tank they have been favoring tonight.
Yeah, it just goes to show you how crucial I can't think of the right word for that, but how insanely good Muradin is in the current meta. With we've seen a new Brack Muradin picked every single game, and then we've seen like a Tyrael here and there, and it's just they're those heroes that are coming out of the woodwork. They're showing themselves more and more in the current meta, and it's making it easier for people to understand how the draft phase is going to work out, basically.
Absolutely. And I definitely do like Muradin maybe getting a little bit higher of a priority this time. After the Illidan pick, you do not want to give the opposing team that reverberation talent, reducing Illidan's attack speed. It makes him so much more difficult to use when you're not getting to hit people, when you're not getting those cooldowns back. You're really going to be looking for. So I love just taking a little bit of that away in the early game by going ahead and grabbing up that Muradin. But what does that leave for Team Blaze? What are they going to be looking for these last two picks?
Well, with Team Blaze, they're probably going to want to go for a little bit more of a global presence. Maybe grab a Falstad. You can see Falstad, maybe even a Zagar. Oh, they're going for a Tychus, though. Ooh. That's interesting. I haven't seen Tychus all night. But with that, with the mining drill or mining laser, it does so much damage.
Oh, yeah. Fantastic zone control out of Tychus with that mining laser. Still don't see him very often. And actually, we're going to round up that team with Azmodan and then Abathur. Some very different picks coming out of these two teams. in the last game of this best of 3.
Abathur hype.
I love some Abathur. I'm very excited for this. Also, an Illidan with Abathur on top of him. Oh man, try and kill that. That is such a huge pain.
And
Very
Brightwing.
excited about that pick. Well, yes, and of course Brightwing.
Yeah, definitely. Brightwing with a Critter Eyes, giving that extra bit of damage for Illidan to take out his opponents.
Mm-hmm. And then, of course, Jaina is going to be raining down damage as well this whole time. I mean, just in it, I like their team composition. I don't even know if it's particularly fantastic because we don't see it very often, but I really, really like it, and I love the way it plays.
Back in Alpha, Abathur, Illidan, and Brightwing were a force to be reckoned with. Like, it was very, very difficult to deal with a hero composition like that.
Absolutely, and still is quite difficult. I mean, we've seen some nerfs come down. Abathur in particular has gotten some pretty serious changes to his kit overall, but he's still definitely a force to be reckoned with when positioned on top of someone like Illidan in particular.
Yeah, those auto attacks, his shields, his regeneration that they've added in past patches helps out a ton early and late game onto any hero. Like, keep in mind, they're still going to have that experience soak from certain lanes that Abathur will be in, but he's also got that global presence, so he can be anywhere on the map, putting mines, giving you more vision. We're probably going to see Scouting Drone from Brightwing, which is going to work out really well in the late game.
Exactly, and that is one thing I think we're seeing more out of Just In It than Blaze. Just In It looks like they're going to want to be around the map a whole lot, whereas Blaze looks more like they're going to want to mostly control a spot. And so I'm really interested to see how those two kind of theories in building this team composition for this map are going to work out, clashing into each other.
Yeah, definitely something you want to look out for. I mean, but at the same time, there's an Asmodan on the other team.
Oh, well, yes. And he is going to just, obviously, he's going to be Asmodan, right? Asmodan does a thing really, really well.
He'll be dunking as much as he can and trying to kill at Abathur because he's going to have some insane range.
Absolutely. And Abathur's going to have to watch out for that and be maybe a bit more carefully positioned this game.
Definitely. I mean, you really have to watch out for the Asmodan dunks. No matter how far away you are, you have no idea where Asmodan is going to be at all times. So it's really hard to deal with. But that being said, we're going to go to the game number 3, a best of 3, Team Blaze versus Just End It. Winner of this gets $100. Second place gets $50. If you guys can, please hit the follow button down on the Twitch channel. Helps us out a lot. Follow us at Twitter at NA_eSport. We'll give you constant updates to let you know what we're planning, when we're planning on doing it, and all of that good stuff.
We've got the team spawning in, though. So over here on the blue team this time, we are going to have, it looks like Cladius on the Anubarak, Tugganuts on Asmodan, J-Kerps covering Uther, Goku on Sylvanas, and then finally Ayuda as our infested Tychus.
I love that skin. But we're going to go over here on the red team. We're going to have Glaurung on that Master Skin Illidan. Tiger JK on the Jaina. Chew8 is going to be on the Abathur. B-Kid is going to be on Muradin. And Horsepants on the Brightwing. So they're all going to spread out here. Chew8 looks like he's going to be going into the mid lane. He's going to sit here. It looks like he's going out there a little bit. What's going on here? Oh, the bait is real.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like Blaze is going to have any of it. It looks like they want to pressure this top lane very, very hard. Tychus is going to be able to hold on his own okay with his Q and his grenades. J-Kerp should be just fine as Uther, so the rest of these members, they're just going to be looking to push so hard in this top lane with this Sylvanas and Asmodan combination.
It's going to be huge, man. I mean, they really have to be paying attention to how much pressure that Anubarak, Asmodan, and Sylvanas is going to put on that top lane. It's going to be really, really difficult to deal with. But it looks like Jaina is actually going to be moving up here to help with that, to make sure that they're not putting too much pressure and taking out too many structures, as is Abathur.
Yeah, it'll just end it, immediately realizing what's going on, where they need to be. They were ready to go ahead and move into position, and they were ready for this push if it was coming. They knew it might be on the way. They moved into position, but we can still see how much damage is done just in that initial wave, already taking down a good third of the hit points off that tower. And they have not stopped yet.
Yeah, it's going to be really, really difficult. Look at the ammunition that's falling off that tower.
Absolutely. I mean, That's just disgusting. Mirrodin's going to try and poke in here and get some work done on Goku, but he will just go ahead and wave on out of there. Low health bars for Nubarak and Sylvanas, however. I mean, they held the tower. It didn't fall, but they are completely out of ammunition.
Yeah, it's going to be really, really difficult to defend that top lane, but they're going to go for those seeds, try to get whatever they can, see if they can get a Garden Tear for this first phase. It's really, really key for this. In particular, it's going to be really, really important for Just End It to grab as many seeds as they can during this night phase. They want to make sure that they can actually put some more pressure, put some counter pressure onto the top lane. And it looks like Asmodan is taking quite a bit of damage, getting caught out. Tiger JK getting pinned down by Asmodan, going to get dunked a little bit, but he's going to get out of there A-okay.
Yep, get out of there just clean. And as you were talking about with the seeds, it looks like Just End It has done a decent job with that so far. One thing we weren't really talking about is Horsepants did a fantastic job of forcing Iuta out of lane. Brightwing very, very strong against that Tychus with the Polymorph, and so a lot of seeds going on over to Just End It early, but it looks like Blaze is going to be the first ones to take down a really big plant. But Illidan doing a lot of work just on his own. This is the strength of this hero with Abathur on his head occasionally. Has had a lot of time to burn that plant, and he's gotten almost all the way through it. With 15 seeds remaining, they could pick up a plant very early here.
It looks like they might be able to with the 3 little minions there. They're trying to counter it, make sure that they aren't able to get it, and it looks like they're going to be able to and actually secure. And it looks like Asmund actually goes down while we're busy watching this team fight down the bottom. Glaurung is taking a lot of damage, is able to be eliminated by a 4-man gank down on the bottom. Horsepants has to back out of there. It looks like a pretty even 1-for-1 there, but they were able to prevent Just End It from getting that plant tear, which was crucial.
Exactly. That was a pretty big deal. Illidan, he had 15 seeds down there. He really wanted to go ahead and collect them and push to that very early plant. Can kind of help them push through this phase where maybe Illidan is a bit weaker in the team areas. All he can really do is go and clean up merc camps, which we see him doing. If they'd gotten to that plant, it would have helped accelerate this game and push it a bit later. So preventing that is a big deal for Blaze right now.
It really is, and they got to make sure that they can keep this pressure from being too much to handle. Like they have their gates down in the top lane. It's gonna be really hard to deal with later on when they have that plant tear come up that top lane.
Absolutely. Just a little wave clear going on right now. Everybody's kind of dancing around. It looks like Illidan, however, is going to get very aggressive onto this night camp, and the rest of his team is doing a decent enough job of controlling their opponents, of putting in the appropriate pressure that Glaurung might just get away with this with the help of Abathur and steal this night camp away from Blaze.
That's exactly what's going to happen, too. That's why Abathur is so good. He isn't as good as he used to be.
Oh, and Jaina's going to drop. Nice work from Asmodan, Sylvanas, and Anub'arak, just taking her down. And Tyka's going to fall as well. Just heroes dying left and right here all around this map today.
I'm missing all the action, man. I was talking about Abathur and missed the team fight.
Well, you've had a very long day.
That I have.
Pauses, everything.
But we have the night camp on the top right here being taken by Goku, Claudius, and Tugganut. So Beacon sees that. It's going to back out. Try not to get taken out here by that duo. Make sure you can clear out these knights. Make sure they don't do too much damage. Illidan up here taking a little damage by Iuta, but he's going to be able to get out of there because Brightwing's going to come in and save him. Goku's going to be taken down.
Help, but he's going to fall as well. Oh, that's not what you want when you're trying to help out a teammate.
No, Jacob's going to get body blocked here by Illidan and taken out as well. But it looks like Iuta's going to be... Iuta's in some trouble here. I mean, Illidan is such a pain to deal with, especially when he's hopping over everyone left and right. And it looks like he's taking quite a bit of damage from here. Tugganut gets taken down from that little laser beam, but Tiger JK is going to be able to get out of there safe and sound.
Absolutely. Maybe a little bit of overconfidence out of there from our Illidan player, but still kind of a fantastic bait there. He just pulls back when he sees Tychus coming in, and then Sylvanas is trying to move in to help out the Tychus, maybe secure that kill, and Jaina out of nowhere. Tiger JK just blowing everybody up. Oh, that was fantastic play. Right up until the very end out of Team Just End It.
For sure, and it looks like Murden's doing a little bit of pressure up here top, but Claudius sees that happening. He's going to come up here. And it looks like we have heroics for the red team just end it already. We have Water Elemental for Jaina, Avatar for Murden, Metamorphosis for Illidan, Blink Heal for Brightwing, and then we have Ultimate Evolution from Abathur.
Absolutely. So definitely looking to fight their opponents is this Abathur this game. And they've got that 10 advantage, but Blaze is going to manage to catch up before the plants come down. And we actually have Divine Storm from Uther this game. Locust Storm out of the Anub'arak. Blackpool Draken Laser Drill, and Wailing Arrow for our blue team Blaze. And what do you think about that Divine Storm in particular? We've been seeing a lot more Divine Shield lately, so why would they choose this instead this game?
It's going to be interesting. I mean, they don't have that fourth hero to worry about. They do, however, have the Abathur Symbiotes to worry about and the Ultimate Evolution pushing down lanes as they try to actually take advantages where they can. So they have to be constantly thinking, okay, do we have pressure on this lane? No? Okay, we're good. But if they're not careful, they could end up losing because they have so much pressure on a certain lane.
Absolutely. Terror's coming up here for both teams, and where are we going to have those go? It looks like Cladius, he's going to be just shoving down mid, whereas the other Terror, B-Kid, has gone top to start putting pressure onto that fort. Cladius is starting to take a little bit of damage from Tiger JK, but not too big a deal yet, and he's going to have a lot of backup, really forcing his way down into this mid fort here.
And as we can see, we're seeing quite a bit of pressure going on the mid lane, but top lane, B-Kid has been able to take out that fort by himself. Asmodan's the only one up there defending against it, but we have some pressure going down here. Bottom, we have Abathur pushing with some promoted minions, and we don't have the Ultimate Evolution up quite yet, so I'm not sure when he's going to be starting to cast that and put a little bit more pressure elsewhere.
Well, that's our Ultimate Evolution instead of our Monstrosity this game, so he's going to be looking to use that if our red team is looking for a team fight, and Illidan's starting to go in here. Glaurung, the Wailing Arrow comes down. He's not going to quite get burst out before Metamorphosis can come up, though. Diving hard onto Sylvanas. She will go ahead and Eon out of there, but it looks like now he's going to get stuck to this Uther. Maybe a bit dangerous. Uther's fallen kind of low, but so is Brightwing from that laser beam this whole time, putting down so much pressure. We're just starting to see heroes fall everywhere, but finally Illidan goes down as well. Such low health bars, but he couldn't quite make the kills happen. Oh, Sylvanas finally picked up by Tiger JK. And Chu just being all sneaky back there.
Ultimate Evolution finally does go off for Chue, and it is actually going to be picked up by as a Jaina, which is doing quite a bit of damage to Claudius and Iota, but he's going to be able to get out there pretty easily. Unless BK can put a little bit more pressure on there, and he is. It doesn't look too good for Claudius, but he's able to get out there just fine.
Nubrax escapes. Always kind of nice to have. Lets you dive so deep and not necessarily get punished for it, especially if there's a Tychus grenade to back you up or two.
Definitely. Looking at the map right now, we have hardly any minions picked up for either side. We have the Merc camp that was right here picked up at one point, but it's now respawning. We have Iota and Claudius J-Kirps going for that bottom left bruiser camp, and Glaurung going for that top right bruiser camp.
Definitely. We have such an even game right now. Both teams at basically the same level, a slight edge over to Blaze. Both Merc camps being picked up very similarly. Very similar seed counts as well. Neither team has really managed to pick up an advantage here. So that's perhaps something a bit different from what we've seen in our previous games, where it always kind of felt like one team or the other, at minimum, it was in a stronger position at a certain point this game.
Definitely, and Chuate's trying to make sure he's not in a poor position, make sure he doesn't take too much damage and get picked up, because that can be really detrimental to the Illidan play that's coming out from Glaurung here.
Absolutely. Bottom fort's finally going to fall. Those massive pushes from Tychus, from Asmodan, it's just so hard to hold them off. And so it's not too surprising that we're finally seeing some of these edge buildings finally go ahead and getting picked up. Oh, but a big engage onto a Nubarak. B-Kid and Glaurung already both there. Doesn't look like they're going to manage to actually get anything done just now, especially with Tychus pressuring in on Tiger JK in the back. Oh, a little bit of a split-up fight, and B-Kid, it looks like he's going to be the one to truly get punished for it. He's going to be the first to fall here. Glaurung goes in hard with the Metamorphosis. A lot of silences, a lot of CC coming out, a lot of health bars getting very, very low, but it doesn't look... Oh, there's a re-engage from Glaurung. He's picked up one. Is he going to be able to get another before he falls? 2-8 going to go ahead and go down, but he's our Abathur, so that's not the biggest deal in the world. And it feels like Blaze came out a little bit on top there, a little bit better positioning on this map. They can just back up and easily start taking these seeds if they want to.
Here's the one thing that they were doing extremely well during the entire engagement there. They were fighting inside the circle of that drill the entire fight. You have to be constantly aware of what the other team is doing. Glaurung saw that. Most of their team saw it. They were making sure that they weren't overextending and pushing into that laser drill.
Yes, definitely a big deal. Going to be that laser drill throughout the course of this game. Level 16 available for both teams now. So I imagine we're going to see a lot of blood for blood being picked up here, but we'll just have to see how it all plays out at the end.
It looks like we have blood for blood on Sylvanas and Asmodan, and we might see it picked up by a Nubarak here. I believe it's on him, correct?
Yeah, Nubrak should have access to that blood for blood. Obviously, either Illidan or Muradin, decent targets for that blood for blood. If you can burst either of them out, that's a fantastic tool to do it with.
Definitely. It looks like B-Kid and the rest of the Just End It is actually positioning themselves to be able to take as many seeds as they possibly can. Now, if this engagement happens, Glamour has to be careful not to get caught in that seed.
Oh, big roots. Goku getting so low. Glaurung's going to dive in for it and manage to pick it up. Horsepants got himself CC'd and a little bit low, but he's going to dive back up to Glaurung. Such low health bars on both Ayuda and J-Curves. Finally, we see a Divine Storm happen, but Uther's still going to fall regardless. And Asmodan, it looks like, is also going to get cleaned up. Just so much CC. A huge fight win on over to our red team Just End It. And I think that came down to some good plant positioning out of B-Kid. He managed to get down that polymorph flower appropriately and kind of forced an engage into it, which definitely caused some problems for Blaze that time.
Chewie might have to be careful in his positioning right here. That Claudius might see him and might be able to take him out in a couple of hits, so could be very, very, very close there if he's not careful.
Yeah, Claudius doing a good job here. Potentially, it looks like easily going to take this keep down out of that fight. So despite Team Just End It easily cleaning up that fight, the keep is going to go on over to Blaze because Glaurung in particular this whole time has been trying to acquire enough seeds for another plant. He has managed to do that. Goku's trying to fight it, but Glaurung, oh, he wanted to chase so hard, but he doesn't quite make it over the wall. That's a couple of ultimates blown out of these players, and are we going to see another engage? Nubrak going in so deep. He gets a little bit silenced, but Glaurung's on full retreat. Tiger JK having to run away as well. Oh, good re-engage. Goku exposing himself. Not going to quite get taken down. Divine Storm keeping him alive a moment longer. Finally, he drops, but Tiger JK, Asmodan coming in to start the cleanup crew. Very nice job on him, picking up 2 kills, but Ayuda, he can't stay alive. Doesn't have that laser backing him up anymore. And Glaurung, we see this Illidan and Nubrak, so difficult to deal with. He's just healing so much right now. And despite the nice job from Tugganuts coming in to start the cleanup, to start to get some kills rolling his team's way, the Illidan Abathur are gonna go ahead and finish it up in favor of Just End It.
I had to mute my mic there for a second because you said Goku's exposing himself. Couldn't stop laughing. So, but that being said, we have another plant terror for B-Kid. Glaurung is doing an amazing job positioning himself in the right way so that he didn't have to worry about them taking him out. Their team was split. He knew that he had the advantage. He had Metamorphosis. He had Abathur on top of him. That auto attack was crucial during those engagements.
Definitely. And now we see, finally, this is all paid off for Team Just End It. They have a plant pushing. Glaurung is here. Brightwing going to go ahead and use that teleport to come on in, and it looks like they're going to start pressuring into these keeps. See if they can get 1 or 2 of these picked up with this plant that is going to go unopposed by the other team and their plan.
Really going to be difficult. Yeah, it's going to be super difficult for them to deal with at the moment because they don't have really any way to position themselves and not have to worry about the polymorph. And they have 2 polymorphs on the side of Just End It, so they have Horsepants and B-Kid right now with the seed and with that polymorph just ability off of Horsepants himself.
Definitely. Just End It still playing a bit cautiously here, despite their 2-level lead and their plant advantage. They don't want to take any huge risks and throw this away. You can tell that this is the last game in the series, and they're not getting nearly as aggressive as they did in that last game once they had a lead, Tomb of the Spider Queen.
Yep, precisely, and they want to be extremely careful with it. And Claudius getting caught out here might be taken out here by Glaurung, but Glaurung is in a lot of trouble here. Gets his Metamorphosis off, but dodging the Wailing Arrow, manages to stay alive. Shuei taking quite a bit of damage as well. Tiger JK about to go down. Is he going to go down? No, Brightwing saves him with a sliver of health. B-Kid still in the fight. Going to use this avatar as soon as he can. Pops it. J-Curve's getting really, really low. Claudius as well. B-Kid backing out. Glaurung still alive. Everyone except for Sylvanas survived that fight.
Absolutely. And Tiger JK just completely turning what I said on its head. He decides not to be conservative at all, diving in with the bolt, just getting in as much damage as he possibly can and running away so fast. He barely made it out alive, but that huge burst of damage really turning things around. And it looks like we might have another fight over these giants.
No, not quite.
Nope,
they don't have that level 20 yet. They know that they got to be careful because they don't have that level 20 quite yet. And not to mention, we have Hive Mind from Abathur. That double symbiote is just crazy, crazy difficult to deal with.
Absolutely. The double symbiote, definitely a good call with the way Abathur has built this game, completely surrounded around supporting Illidan, but why not have one on Muradin as well if he's nearby? I mean, it's a fantastic little level 20 pickup that's really going to help out Just End It in these team fights, and we can see just how scared Blaze is. They don't want to be anywhere near Just End It right now.
Well, they know. They're like, okay, we don't have 20 yet. We need to hit 20. We cannot afford a team fight right now. We need to hold out and wait. We cannot engage right now. That Illidan is just too much to handle.
Absolutely. Not even going to get a plant. These things are really not looking good for Blaze right now. Just End It. They're going to have a plant. They can't quite pick up 2 here, which is very, very big deal. But still, another unopposed plant that can be pushing down mid. It can go straight in for core around top if they feel like it. Things are not looking good for Blaze at the moment.
It really isn't. It looks like they're going back right now. B-Kid's going to grab that plant tear as we speak. And they're probably going to have another plant tear right after that one's done. And no, they're not going to have enough seats quite yet. But with that being said, they need to come up with a play here. Team Blaze needs to do something in order to come back into this game.
Absolutely. It feels like it should have happened already a good 10 seconds ago, right when they hit 20, when their opponents were split up, trying to collect this plant, collect themselves, taking mercenaries, getting all of this pressure established on this map. And Blaze was sitting back doing absolutely nothing about it. Right at their moment where they had an opportunity with the opponent split, they could have gone for something, but they didn't. And now they're just going to be sitting back here trying desperately to defend their keep and potentially their core.
Definitely. Now they're just positioning themselves to be in a better spot to engage in a fight here. They have to worry about the polymorph, like I was saying earlier. That double symbiote is just brutal.
Definitely. B-Kid still being a bit cautious with this plant. He doesn't want to start anything until the time is absolutely right. All right, here we go. See a little bit of a Q down. He's going to get the W down for the lockdown as well on those buildings, but not too much. He's still just kind of waiting. His team's still hanging back. They're waiting for that opportunity for Blaze to make that one little misstep that they can truly take an advantage off of. But they don't have too much longer. Chew8, he's starting to run out of this ultimate. He's going to have to hop in on top of somebody, and there's still no engage. Blaze is just, they're too passive. They don't want to fight at all, ever. And they just lose a keep again.
They have to be careful here because now that the Chew8 is down, or Chew8's heroic is down, they have to worry about the double symbiote now. It's very, very difficult to deal with.
Absolutely, but eventually you do have to make a play. You can't just keep giving up everything for free, which is all we've really seen Blaze do the past few minutes of this game. They're going to have to find one opportunity somewhere to truly get something done, because if this keeps going the way it is, it'll be pretty much a walkover victory from here for Just End It.
Oh, for sure, and we see that the Planet Terror finally does go down. They have scouting drones positioned to where they can engage pretty easily. It's not looking good for Team Blaze, but they're actually getting silenced. Uther taking quite a bit of damage. Does manage to get a stun down on Glaurung. Glaurung uses his heroic, getting in. Metamorph's going down. Goku extremely low. Horsepants extremely low. That Tychus turret goes down. Horsepants Ice Walk goes off. Asmodan doing everything he can to assist his team and doing something in this fight, but it might not work out. J-Kirps goes down as well. Glaurung just doing so much damage onto Team Blaze. They can't handle the amount of damage he's dealing.
Absolutely. Huge amounts of damage coming out of that Illidan. Big amounts of damage also coming out of Abathur during all of these fights. And we saw maybe just a bit too much of a dive in. They did get aggressive finally, but it was just too little, too late. The fight's going to be cleaned up. 5-0 in favor of Just End It. And this game is over. The series, the tournament, it's all going to go over to Team Just End It right here and now.
And that's good game. Congratulations to Just End It for taking first place in week number 5 of Nexus Mayhem. I'm D-Day Drayson. I was joined by Zoltar at the later end of the show. So, I mean, Zoltar, that was awesome for you to hop in and help me cast with Veritech having to take off later on in that match. Where can people find you? Do you have a Twitter or anything like that you want to put out there?
I do. I'm at Twitter at Zoltar327. Twitch is the same, twitch.tv/Zoltar327. I do some hero streaming over there, so if you're interested in heroes, which I assume you are, if you're over here, feel free to go ahead and follow over there, and you'll see my broadcasts. I try and get in a few of them each week, so they'll be happening quite frequently.
Alrighty, and like I said, I'm